Hey warriors, welcome to Repair, Restore and Retrain. So this is the perfect class for you if you've had your baby and you are looking to restore that sort of strength and functional workings of your deep core muscles, which often get quite stretched during pregnancy. If you're looking to help work on pelvic floor, we're also going to work on posture as well, calming the mind, reconnecting the mind as well with the body. So all sorts of fantastic things are in store for you today to help you feel stronger and more confident in your postnatal body. So what do you need for today's class? Well, grab yourself a mat if you've got one, otherwise carpet will do just fine. If you are on a hard wooden floor, I might suggest getting a blanket to lie down on. If you haven't already, get yourselves some water. Really important to keep hydrated, especially so if you are breastfeeding. Get that water in you. We're also going to be using some light weights today. These are optional, but if you do have some, then absolutely fantastic. Go grab some. If not, cans of tomatoes, 49p, bonus. How cheap are tomatoes? I mean, I swear the ones that I get in like the health food store are sort of £1.80, and yet the ones at the local Londis, 49p. So go to your Londis for good, cheap chopped tomatoes. If you want something a bit heavier, go for some empty milk cartons that you filled up with water, or things like oat milk. Well, I've got. What else could you use? Yeah, then obviously, if you do have actual weights, then go for those. But you don't need to have them. So don't go spending a fortune or worrying that you can't work out or get strong without them. There are plenty of other ways too. So we are going to start, first of all, just by reconnecting our mind with our body. So it's pretty hot today, so I'm wearing some shorts. But I'm also very aware that I don't want you guys to get a bit of a nasty shock. So I might just sit sideways on for this one. So let's start by sitting cross-legged. And when I say cross-legged, I don't mean crossing through at the ankles. So it's quite often that we sit cross-legged. We have one ankle up like this. And there's a reason why I don't quite like that. Main reason because it puts our pelvis a little bit to one side. And because of that, our spine has to do something funky to keep ourselves upright. So by having a good glance at our ankles means that we can start off nice and aligned with a level pelvis, and it gives our spine the best possible start to this exercise. Sit cross-legged. If that doesn't feel comfy for you because it's a little bit awkward on those knees, chuck a couple of pillows underneath. There you go. So are we ready? Let's sit up nice and tall. Try and make sure that you're sitting up vertically as well. So sometimes when we sit up, we might lean forward a little bit, or we might lean backwards. So have a quick check in the video to make sure that we're sitting up nice and vertical. At the same time as well, you're there with the forward head posture. Try and press the head back, and also just drop the chin slightly. So, you know, this isn't going to be pretty, but that doesn't matter. We're not going for pretty here. We're going for functional. So you might want to even just push this chin back into your neck slightly. You don't want to force anything, but sit up nice and tall. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just find time to take some breaths for yourself. Keep sitting up nice and tall, breathing in and out through your nose. Every single time you breathe out, just feel like you're relaxing all those tight muscles, starting from the top of your head down towards your toes. Relax the shoulders, relax the muscles around your face. Let go through those hips. Let your feet feel heavy against the floor. Keep that breath coming in and out through the nose. And now try and get as much air into your lungs as you can. And try and get out as much air from your lungs as you can. We're looking to increase the efficiency, to increase that lung capacity of the breath. And whilst you're trying to get that air into your lungs, think about what's moving. As you breathe in, your shoulders shrug upwards. You're breathing into the top part of your chest. You're breathing in down by the lower sections of the rib, or are you using your belly? Try and keep the breath nice and steady, nice and easy. It's really hard to find calm as a parent. And if we can start by getting a little bit of calm within our head, then you are already onto a winning streak. Now, as you take deep breaths in, I want you to take your breath into the belly. So as you breathe in, let the belly expand out to the side and to the front to accommodate that breath. As you start to fill it up, breathe into the back of those lower ribs first. We then start expanding out to the side and to the front. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed, nice and still. Let's focus first on our inhale. So as you breathe in, expand through the belly to the front and to the sides. Don't push against anything, don't try and force it. Then as you continue to breathe in, you might be trying to work out how you can do this, but imagine breathing into the back of your ribs, into the side of your ribs, and through the front of your ribs as well. Trying to create space, so trying to take up more space than you would normally do through that midsection. So whilst you're keeping that going, let's start work on your breath out. As you breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor, taking it in from back to front, side to side, and gently lifting up through the body as you breathe out. You might also notice as you do this that the lower abdominals just underneath your belly button might start to gently activate and help you with that upwards lifting movement. That's not a problem at all for this. In fact, imagine that you are rolling up the bottom of a tube of toothpaste. And as you're breathing out, you're first of all gathering in that pelvic floor, you're gently activating up through the lower part of those stomach muscles. And then you're going to take it up to the bottom of the ribs, try and squeeze them close and tight, tight, tight together, getting them away from the sides of your top. And as you take a deep breath in, flood that stomach area and the bottom of your lungs with beautiful, beautiful fresh air. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, imagine squeezing up that roll of toothpaste, trying to get as much air out of your lungs as you can. We're going to put some time into this as well. So you're going to take a deep breath in for a count of 4. And you're going to breathe out nice and slowly for a count of 8. It's known as 1-2 breathing. Try and keep it nice and calm and controlled. Try not to force anything. Let that breath in come easily, slowly. And as you breathe out, gently slow down the breath. Imagine time is slowing down. As soon as you come to the end of that exhale, take that deep breath in again. If you feel like starting at an inhale of 4 and an exhale of 8 is too much, take it down to 3 and 6. But always try to improve. If you can, take it up for an inhale of 5 and an exhale of 10. same time, try and make that breath easier. Try and make it more efficient. Feel like there is less resistance. Calm your body, sit up nice and tall, relax those muscles through the face. Focus on that breath out. Think about what's going on with your body as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out. Let's try and bring back that mind-body connection. If you can't quite feel those lower abdominals working yet, you can't quite engage with them, don't worry. These things do take time. They keep working through these motions and things will start getting easier and easier. Keep sitting up nice and tall. We've got a few more rounds now, so go for your best. Either increase the count for this 1-2 breathing, or focus on making it easier. At the end of your next exhale, we're going to float the eyes open and stretch those arms up ahead of you. All the way up, 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 up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Imagine just doing little reaches from side to side, stretching these shoulders up, 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 as though you're reaching for something just above you. Good stuff. Good. Take that left hand up as much as you can. We're going to grab the wrist, pull it upwards first. We then take a gentle stretch over to the side. Good. So keep sitting up nice and tall, lengthening. Use this hand to pull everything up and stretch it. Hold this here, make sure you're breathing. There's a rule that we have in this class, that is to keep breathing. As soon as we start holding our breath, that puts increased pressure onto our pelvic floor or down through our midline. Let's take that right hand up, 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 up. We're going to grasp that wrist with our hand. We're going to pull it up first to increase the stretch before we take it over to the side. Really nice. Good. Take a deep breath in and all the way up. Drop the chin down towards the chest and we're going to roll down in half circles through the neck. It's amazing how many kinks we get in our body, especially if we're sitting down feeding or just hanging out with little ones. Good. Circle all the way back up now. Just one shoulder. Let's take it back as much as we can. Just trying to move through the shoulder. If you look at this sideways, just that shoulder is moving. We're not twisting through the body, it's just the shoulder that's moving, and let's take it forwards now. Just the shoulder. Good. Good, and over to the other side. It's really important to start mobilizing and warming up all the areas that we really, really need. Let's take it backwards now, really big stretches. Good. Good. So back to the other side. We're going to take the arm up and over. So we're trying to take the arm back and stretch it the full range of motion all the way up. Reach, reach, reach as far as we can take it back as well. If you want a little bit of length, you can come up onto your knees. That gives you a little bit of extra height. Good. Really stretch it the whole way through, trying to get as much circular movement as you can. Good. So trying to keep these nice and slow and controlled. Let's take it all the way up. Good. And over to the other side. Really stretch all the way out as well. This is such a fantastic movement. They're helping us with our mobility, and it's also going to help keep us strong and injury-free. Because if we start by jumping straight into exercise or straight into movement where we haven't lubricated and warmed up these joints, we're at higher risk of injury. So support your wrist with one hand and make a gentle fist and little circles all the way through. So the reason why we're holding on to our wrist to give it support, and let's turn it around the other way, is because we want to just focus on that wrist motion. As soon as we take the arm away, then sometimes we find that our forearm starts moving as well. So it can be a little bit hard to control certain parts of our bodies. Good. Let's take it one way and then the other. Good stuff. Let's take the ear towards the shoulder as opposed to the shoulder coming up towards the ear. You can use your other hand on your head if you fancy. Drive through the heel of the hand. And let's take it up, pulling those fingers back. Oh, it feels amazing, right? You should feel a bit of a nerve stretch. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. Good. Let's take it over to the other side. Good. Grabbing hold of the head. Let's drive through the heel of the hand, pulling those fingertips back, taking it all the way up. Good. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. Good. If you're in this position, I advise you to come into this position. If it doesn't feel that comfortable for you, let's get a cushion and you can place it underneath your bum if that helps. From this position, and close the eyes if you fancy, but we're going to get some pelvic floor exercises in. So there's 3 types of pelvic floor exercises we're going to do. We're going to focus on strength, we're going to focus on speed, and then we're going to focus on endurance. So first of all, we've got our strength. We're going to take some deep breaths in. And as you breathe out, and on every exhale, you're going to gather in the pelvic floor, back to front, side to side, and you're going to lift and you're going to hold that squeeze nice and strong for the length of your exhale. As soon as you need to take that deep breath in, release. Breathe into the belly. As you breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor, back to front, side to side. As soon as you need to take that breath in, release. Breath out, gather in the pelvic floor. Deep breath in. A couple more to go. Breathing out, gather in the pelvic floor. Squeeze and hold as you breathe out. Deep breath in and release. It's really important to focus on the release as well. Let's do 2 more. Breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor from back to front. Take a deep breath in and release. Last one, let's make it a good one. Breathe out, gather in the pelvic floor from back to front. Keep breathing out, gather everything in. And take that deep breath in and release. So focusing on speed now. I'm going to ask you to squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax. So you can keep an eye on yourself here. We're not looking to get any kind of movement through the stomach muscles or through the bum. So no bum clenching, please. Just little pelvic floor movements. I'm doing them right now. You shouldn't be able to tell. Okay, so let's go. We're going to do squeeze, release. Don't worry about your breathing. Just make sure you're breathing. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Good. Squeeze, release. For 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. 1, release. Good work. Have a little wriggle, make sure we're properly released. And we're going to do the same again. We're going to activate and gather in that pelvic floor, but this time we're going to hold it at roughly 50% of our strength for 30 seconds. So let's go. Make sure you're breathing. Think about holding that pelvic floor in. Just for 30 seconds. You should be breathing. Gentle engagement through that pelvic floor. Try not to grip with your bum muscles. Your bum muscles, they're not your pelvic floor. There's a lot of things that will work in conjunction with your pelvic floor, such as your core and your breathing. Bum muscles, not so much. Okay, the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. So from here, let's come into a little lie down. Coming onto our back. If you're still newly postnatal, don't forget to lie on your side first before you lie down onto your back. Make sure we can just about brush the backs of the heels with our fingertips. Place the hands on the floor, then make sure you can still see me. Yep. Keeping our feet roughly hip distance apart. And we're going to start by rocking through the pelvis forwards and back. So as we push that pelvis forwards, that is what's known as our anterior tilt, and that is a position that is most likely for our pelvis to be in post-birth. And then as soon as we pull it back and we tuck in that tailbone under, that is what's known as our posterior tilt. So we might be using some of these expressions later. So think that whenever we're tucking that tailbone under, it's almost like we're pulling the tops of the hips in towards our ribs. And if we're pushing our bum out slightly, that is our anterior tilt. Good. So coming in and out. Good. Let's start by gently rolling up through the spine. So we're going to take the back off the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Good. Until we start coming into our hip bridges. So squeeze through the glutes as you take it all the way up. Drive through those heels as well. Taking it up and down. No need to come up too high. Breathing out as we come up. Breathing in as we come down. This is a really fantastic one because it strengthens up through those back muscles, through your glutes and through your legs. Good. And we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the legs up here now, and we're going to bum up here. We're going to pulse, pulse, pulse. We're working on re-strengthening these bum muscles. So you should be able to feel your bum contract. Put your hands in your bum. Go on. Feel your own arse. Feel them squeezing, squeezing, and squeezing. It's really important to regain our glute strength. We so often lose it during pregnancy because of our posture. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come all the way back down. And let's come all the way back up now. From here, we're going to take it up a notch. Let's take one foot off the ground and then the other. So the trick here, what we're looking for, is hip stability, believe it or not. This isn't about how high or how fast we can get our legs. This is more about keeping our hips really nice and still. This gives us a really good indicator of how strong these hip muscles are, as well as our core muscles, because our core muscles will be playing a part. If this is too much for you and you're experiencing any lower back pain, or your hips are swinging wildly all over the place, take it back into little pulses. Okay. And we've got 4. Keep breathing throughout. 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Roll it all the way down. Let's hug one knee in towards our chest and then the other. Circle round through the lower part of the back. Good. First one way and then the other way. Really good. From here we have our TVA marches. So before, when we're doing those pelvic tilts, we want to try and have it so that when we breathe out, we're drawing that belly button down towards the spine, and at the same time our back might flatten slightly. So I don't want you to automatically start pulling that tailbone under to keep that back nice and flat. It's actually to do with the breathing, and as you're breathing out and gently engaging through those lower core muscles, we should have a gentle press against the back. We should be firmly squeezing everything in and trying to lock everything down. Just a nice gentle engagement through these lower core muscles. From here, one foot's going to come up off the ground. You can see this nice right angle here. We're going to keep this angle, and we're going to drop that foot towards the ground as we breathe out. Let's take the other leg up and off the ground. Let's get it to a right angle, and as we breathe out, we're going to start engaging through that lower core muscle for a nice controlled placement to the ground. Good. Take that leg up. As we breathe out, gently engage through those lower abdominals and place the foot back down. So it's really important to do these slowly. You are the winner if you can do these super slowly. See these people and they're on Instagram and they're like, guys, this is a great exercise to do. Whereas in fact, they're not really doing it properly. As soon as you start slowing down an exercise, you need even more control of these small muscles and also of those deep core muscles. Okay, so keep working on these. This is a really, really valuable exercise to do, just to start reconnecting and re-engaging with your core muscles. So the next level that we have for these is you're going to take one leg first of all up and then the other. Now keep a real big watch out for what is going on with your core here. You're trying to avoid any bread loafing, which is what happens when you're straining too much. And you might notice that your abdominals kind of pop up, a bit like a bread loaf, the top of a bread loaf. If you're doing that, and if your back comes off the ground, then you know you're not engaging your core muscles properly. So think about trying to draw them in towards the spine, to think about trying to get a bit of engagement. Imagine you're closing up the gap between the top of your hips and the bottom of your ribs. As well, if you notice any doming, so where your stomach muscles seem to come up into a bit of a point, then you know again that you're not engaging those stomach muscles properly. So try and keep them engaged, and if it disappears, fantastic. If you can't get it to go, then this exercise isn't quite right for you, and you can stick to the toe taps where the feet are starting on the floor. But otherwise, the feet are coming up, we're going to have the hands down, and you're going to drop one foot down towards the ground. You don't need to take it all the way down. And let's alternate through those legs. We're not going to do too many of these, but this is actually an incredibly hard exercise. So for those of you that see people doing this for minutes and minutes on end, it's not necessary because it's often really hard to engage these deep core muscles, especially after you've had a baby. Okay. So we're going to do 3 more. So keep an eye out for your stomach. Have a look at what's going on there. Try and keep that back gently pressed towards the ground and the stomach muscles engaged. Think about, again, pulling those hips, bottom, the top of the hips in towards those ribs. Get one more. Down towards the ground. Good. And through the other way. Fantastic. Pull those knees in towards the chest and relax through the stomach. So this is a fantastic pose if you experience lower back pain. It's just great because it helps us relax through this lower part of the back. Good. Good stuff. Let's stretch everything out. So stretch those legs down towards the other side of the room and stretch the arms up towards the other side of the room. I call this a bed stretch. It always makes you want to yawn. It feels like the stretch that you do as soon as you get out of bed. Let's take it up, roll it over onto our fronts. And we're coming to all fours. Drop the elbows down towards the ground. You can clasp the hands together if you like. And from here, little sideways bend through the spine, curving, curving, curving as we go. So if at any point At any point during this session, if you experience any issues or discomfort with a C-section scar, then it's definitely worth thinking about C-section scar massage. If you Google it, you'll find some nice techniques. There is a maternity physio who's got some really nice blog posts on that as well. Good. Let's just have a little stretch through the spine now. Cool. So from here, we're going to start engaging through these deep core muscles in a slightly different way. You want to have your hands slightly closer in so that we're not, we're more like an inverted triangle, or a gently inverted triangle, should we say. And from here, you can take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to bring that belly button in towards the spine, and you're going to take the knees off the ground slightly. Good. And breathe in. So breathe out, go through that spine, and take the knees off the ground. So keep an eye out for what's going on through the stomach. If you want to, take your top off, and no one's going to mind. We're pressing through the backs of these feet. Deep breath in, pushing through the hands, gathering everything, and we're just going to lift it up slightly. Good. So think about drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Good. So we're not going to do too many of these, but it's a good way just to think about getting back into engagement through the spine. On all fours, let's work on some cat-cows. We're going to do this segmented. So starting with a flat back, we've got our bum over our knees and our shoulders over our wrists. To start, first of all, by tilting that pelvis. So push the pelvis down. Good. And you want to start with that kind of movement. You then start taking the chin up towards the chest. Don't push through this. It should be a nice, gentle movement. And then in reverse, tuck that chin in towards the chest. And you want to start lifting up through the upper back. So this is really tricky because you kind of want to push up the upper back first before you then start moving through that lower back. Good. And let's start again. So start with the pelvis. If you see the upper back is still up nice and high. Good. Take it down nice and slowly. And draw that chin away from the chest, keeping your neck nice and long. So try not to scrunch it in. Good. Let's start again. Let's drop that chin in towards the chest. And we're going to start raising up to the top of the body. It's a really hard one. You kind of want to feel like you're moving the vertebrae one by one. Good. Let's do one more. So start by tilting that pelvis. Good. All the way down, gentle gaze up towards the ceiling. Try not to press the belly in towards the ground. Taking it out the other way. Lifting all the way up until that lower back is the last thing to come up. Good stuff. So that's a bit different from usual cat to cow, where we're kind of swinging backwards and forwards. And it gives us a little bit of extra mobility through the spine. So if you can crack that, then amazing. Right, next exercise, we're going to work on some core strength. We're taking it straight into our bird dogs. So if you've not done these before, start by taking just the arm out in front of you, and then place that hand back to the ground, and then take out the opposite leg behind you. If you've done these before, and you can go straight into it, we've got opposite arm and opposite leg coming down and out. So you're trying to keep the hips nice and steady. You're trying to have some engagement through this core. So if you can feel your core like hanging down, I don't mean, you know, we'll all have some extra excess fat around our bellies after we've had a baby. What am I doing? There you go, I've lost it. So it's, you know, if you can see a lot of skin and fat hanging down, don't worry too much about that. But you should also be able to feel where those muscles are starting. Good. For some of you, this might feel like you don't have any stomach muscles at all. That is, again, completely normal. Take it nice and easy. Good. One more. And let's take it over to the other side. If you need to, sit back, shake out those wrists. We take it over to the other side. Good. So if you are experiencing any pain through your wrists here, you can come up onto this if that makes things easier. Or if you've got a yoga block, and I'll demonstrate with my Oakley carton. But again, don't do this with an Oakley carton. If this is your yoga block, you can have your hand to the side on it, and that just reduces much of the pressure. Okay, so let's go. Other side. Again, if you're just new to this, start taking the hand up, trying to keep the rest of your body really nice and still. That's okay. Take the leg backwards. And if you can do that, then let's go for the whole thing. Good. Taking it down and up. Really good. I like how I've managed to get that shard of light nice and aligned with my arm. Good. So focus on your breathing as well. Should try and keep some activation through the core as we go. This is really good as well because we also need to work on anti-rotation. So trying to stop our body from rotating from side to side. So we need to have good stability here. Good. Make sure this elbow isn't locked out. So we've got a little bit of gentleness through the joint. And we've got 4. Take it nice and slow. 3, 2. It's a lot harder when you take it slowly. And 1. Good stuff. Get to lie down now. Hurrah! Let's take it down onto the ground. So we're going to be doing some exercises on our front. If you're breastfeeding or you've got quite painful and tender breasts, then what you can do, grab a cushion and you can put it underneath. Or if that feels too big, you can grab a jumper. Oh, funny notification on my laptop. Naughty laptop. There you go. Just got rid of that for you. Then having this to help support your breasts can be really helpful. So you want to place a rolled up jumper or a pillow just above, just to help take off some of that weight. So have a feel around, work out which feels better for you. If it's too uncomfortable, then don't do this exercise. So we've got both arms out. We're going to take the legs off the ground. We'll take the arms off the ground. We also want you to feel that you've got some engagement through the core as well, so that you're not pressing your stomach into the ground and you're not tensing up too much through this lower back and arching up this way. You kind of want to have a little bit of engagement through that stomach. So imagine drawing your belly button away from the ground. Heads down, gaze is looking towards the floor, and you're going to paddle those legs up and down. Okay, so you've got 30 seconds. Let's go. Paddling up and down. So this is such a good exercise for working on your back muscles. So all those postural muscles that we need for a good, strong spine. Keep paddling. Make sure you're breathing. We don't need to take the legs up high off the ground. If it's too much, take opposite arm and opposite leg off the ground, like so. Got another 5, 4, 3. Don't forget the engagement through the stomach. 2 and 1. Nice. So we're going to do something very similar in the same position. This time the arms are going to come out. We're going to take the arms off the ground and we're going to pull them back down. So we're coming out and back down. With the feet, you can keep them pressed against the floor, or if you want, you can take them up off the ground. Completely up to you. But from here, we're just pulling back these elbows. So keep the spine nice and long. Take the gaze down towards the ground. Reaching the arms forwards and pulling those elbows back. Make sure you're breathing out as you pull these elbows back. Good. The last 10 seconds. You don't need to come up too high when you're pulling everything back. Think more about lengthening through the spine. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Push yourself off the ground. Let's move our props out the way, and we'll just finish off that exercise in a child's pose. Stretch out that lower back. So press the bum against the heels. You can walk the fingers forwards. The forehead is going to come down towards the ground. Good. So, last exercise that we have on the ground, we take it up and off. So really important that as a parent, we also focus on pushing motions. So for that, for us, it is the press up that we have today. So you're going to start on all fours. We're tucking those toes under as well. You're going to come down into a press, keep that back nice and long. This is a press up with a difference, by the way. You're going to come down, pushing all the way up as you breathe out. And then you're going to push that bum back down towards the heel. So a bit like that child's pose that you just did. Come all the way back up, keeping engagement through the stomach, coming down into that press up and pushing all the way back up. So we're also working on our shoulder mobility and shoulder strength as well. So we've got that push up from the ground, as well as another type of push where we're pushing away. Good. Coming down, up, and back. Good. So trying to keep these nice and mobile and also functional, because we use this movement a lot, where we're pushing ourselves back off the ground to get back up. Let's go. We've got 4 more. Coming down, pushing back. Good, and we're rocking. We're also, this is really good for feet, because we're pressing through those toes as well. Push, push, push. And our poor toes are often so immobile in our shoes that they can't move anymore. They don't have that ability to be flexible. So this exercise can really, really help. Make it easy. If there's too much pain through the feet, then avoid doing it just yet. Great stuff. Let's get up and off the ground. Grab some water if you need it. We are going to take it into our circuit. Okay, hurrah, you can see me. Right, I'm going to get our timer started. Grab some water. Also, I'm not going to sit like that in front of the camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for this, you are going to need your weights. And we're going to do 30 seconds of, we've got 30 seconds of an exercise, followed by 30 seconds break. And then we're going to go into a second set with 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. So it's going to get slightly more challenging. Right, let me make sure I can see the timer, otherwise you might be doing this for hours and hours on end. I don't know how much you'll like me if that happens. Okay, so grab your weights, choose your weights. I think I might go for my Oatly milk cartons. So we've got a litre in here. So it's roughly twice the weight of my cans. So that is exciting. Let me make sure you can see me. There you go. Take that up a little bit. All right, so our first exercise that we have is we've got our squats. Let's come back. There you go. Okay, is that a bit better? Yeah, that'll work for me. Okay, so for our squats, let's keep the weights by our shoulders. You've got your feet just slightly wider than hip width apart, toes pointed forwards, slightly out if that feels comfortable for you. You're going to go through the heels, and as you stand, you're going to take one arm up into a press, And as you come up again, you're going to take the other one. Okay, so really important with this that you breathe out every single time you take those weights above your head. So, got another 10 seconds or so before we start. So make sure you're getting yourself into position. When you've got your feet placement, try and also spread through those toes so you've got a nice solid base. Let's go, 30 seconds. Coming down and we're raising up. Raise these weights directly up above your head. Good, I'm going to come to the side. Good, so you can see the hips are coming down roughly to the same level as my knees. Good, you've got 10 more seconds. Good, so drive through as you stand all the way up. Good. 3, 2, get one more in. Fantastic. Next exercise, we're coming down into another squat and we're taking the leg up to the side. So we're incorporating several movements in. With the arms, we're going to come down and we're going to take them up towards the side as we come back up. So you've got 30 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Keep the weight in the heel. Take those legs up, stand up nice and tall. Good, try and keep your balance. Good. Make sure you take the weights up to the side, but they're slightly in front of you as well. Good. Good, don't forget to squat the whole way down. Now, during these exercises, if you notice any issues with your pelvic floor, so any heaviness or any leaking, please don't hesitate to message me or also leave and relax for 30 seconds. We are both on the Warriors Live WhatsApp group, which you should have been given access to. So if you haven't, message me to find out why. Right, next exercise. We're going to come back into alternating reverse lunges. So try and keep their legs roughly hip width apart. As we come down into our lunge, the arms are coming into a front raise. Let's go. 30 seconds has already started. Good. So we're focusing. You know, you might not realize this, but this is a core exercise as well. So as soon as we're taking the weight out in front of us, that's going to start activating through our core. Now try and make the movements that we have with our arms really nice and controlled. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next exercise. So we have clock legs. So for these ones, focusing on hip strength and balance as well. You're going to take a little mini squat through these legs. You're going to point the toe forwards, diagonally in front, to the side, diagonally back, and to the back. Take it forwards. Good, are you ready? You got the gist, right? Forwards, diagonally in front, side, diagonally back, and behind you. Forwards, we're just working through one leg. We're also working on our hips as well. So don't forget to keep this leg really nice and steady. Good, great one for balance. Watch out for any wobbles with that standing leg. Good, last one. Really good stuff. Let's shake off through the legs. Have a little circle through the hips. First one way and the other way. Yeah, so I love that kind of exercise because we're also working on strengthening all the different areas around the hips. And as a parent, you know, we never just move in one direction. We're constantly like reaching to pick things up and stop babies from crawling down the stairs. So we've got to be able to move confidently and safely. Right, over to the other leg. Good. Pointing forwards, diagonally in front, to the side, diagonally behind, and behind. Good. Really nice. Good. So it's good to try and get some functionality, or at least some kind of functional background to why we're doing these exercises. We've got the last one here. Good, and up. So the next exercise we have is basically what I call like tidy up lunges. So you know when you've got a whole bunch of stuff scattered all over the floor. This is a nice way to get into the habit of picking them up in a safe way. You're going to come down, you're going to lunge down to the ground, the back knee is going to touch the ground, and you're going to pretend to pick something up from the ground. Good, and stand back up again. So try it with some weights if you want to. You can do a little bit of tidy up whilst we're here. Then let's go, we've got our 30 seconds. So you're going to come down, imagine picking something up, keep the back nice and straight, and stand back up again. We're coming down, dropping the back knee, pick something up with a straight back, try not to round over. As soon as we start rounding over, we put pressure through that spine. I mean, you might want to walk around, pick something up, have a look forward. Oh, look, here's something. Go down and pick it up. Oh, look, another dummy. Let's pick that one up. Good. Last one. Coming down, pick up the imaginary dummy and stand back up. I think you get the gist right. Next exercise that we have, we're going to take us into our deadlifts, like bend through the knees. We're going to take the weight down, keeping the hands close to the legs, and stand back up. Keep the back nice and straight and stand up. Let's go. We've got 30 seconds. So stand back up, squeeze through the bum. So this is a really nice exercise to do if you've got slightly heavier weights. If you don't have any heavier weights, find something heavy to pick up. We'll put a rucksack with some books. I mean, I'd always say chuck a child in a carry bag, pick them up, but I don't know how well that will go down with child services, so maybe not do that. Okay, so keep going, got the last 10 seconds, squeeze through the hips, so you stand back up, keep that back nice and straight. As you come down and up. Yes, this is really functional because how many times are we picking up babies from a cot? Good. Last one, coming down and up. So guys, you have completed your first set. We have another one coming up now. Very soon. You've got roughly a minute's break, so make the most of that. Go and grab yourself a drink. I lie, you've got roughly 30 seconds. So grab yourself a drink. We're about to get started in a second. I'm really hoping my laptop is not just going to keel over and die here because it's kind of in the sun where it's positioned. So where I am at the moment, it's a massive like sun trap, which is great, but it means that the lighting is absolutely terrible. Okay, are you ready? We've got 40 seconds. Grab your weights. We are coming into our squats and our single armed press. So let's take the speed up again for this. We know what we're doing. Taking it down nice and smoothly. Standing up nice and tall. Good. Breathing out as we push it all the way up. Good. Think about what's going on with the pelvic floor. As you breathe out, getting the pelvic floor at the same time. Got 10 seconds left. Coming all the way down, thrust all the way up. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. You've got a 20-second break. Make the most of it. Next exercise we have is our squats and side leg lifts. Well, there's hairband to keep the hair out of my face. There's little wispy bits that come through. So next exercise, if you remember, we've got a squat and side leg lifts with the arms as well. Let's go. 40 seconds has started. Good. Whatever you do, make sure you use unopened packs of oat milk because A, you don't want them to get warm, and B, you don't want to accidentally squeeze them too hard and for them to squirt everywhere. Because yes, I would cry over spilled milk. Oh my God, I don't know if any of you are breastfeeding, but bloody hell, colostrum. Trying to squeeze out like colostrum is just, oh, it's awful. We've got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Right, so we've got our reverse lunges with our front raises. Here is a reminder of it. We're stepping backwards as our arms come up in front. But yeah, so My firstborn was in neonatal for 2 weeks and he couldn't feed properly. Let's go, guys. You ready? 40 seconds. And he couldn't feed properly because he was born with an unexpected microcleft. So I was really upset because I had all these visions of, you know, how I wanted him to be fed. I didn't want him to have formula. And the first thing he had was formula. But, you know, you get over it. And I remember me squeezing my boob and my husband trying to drag this tiny, tiny syringe, scraping it across my nipple, trying to get out colostrum. Most painful thing I've ever experienced. Right, we've got 3, 2, and 1. I mean, I'm totally digressing, but hopefully it made your exercises go much faster. Right, our clock legs. So remember these ones? You ready? So bend through the knees. We're going to tap forwards, diagonally in front, to the side, to the back, and back. So forwards, diagonally, side, diagonally, back, and forward. So try and keep that bend through the leg if you can. Try and keep your hips nice and stable. So if you feel like you're wobbling around the whole time, just slow it down. If you need to, grab hold of something as well. We're looking to get the technique right. None of these are about speed. We're not about speed. We're about good technique. Good. And relax. Get ready for the next side. Yeah. And I mean, breastfeeding. Bloody hell. Mother Nature obviously having a massive laugh, right? Because it's not easy. You see all these photos and like pictures of mums with their babies and they're suckling away. There's no like photos of just like cracked, bleeding nipples, or the fact that I flinched every single time my child came near me for the first, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. Good. And forward, diagonal, to the side, back, back. Good. How's that standing leg? It requires a lot of hip stability on single leg strength. So keep breathing. Nice. You've got 10 more seconds. Forwards, diagonally in front, to the side, back. Good. Let's go. What's that one? Good. And last one. Good. Fantastic. Time to clear up your room. I mean, I did all my clearing up before this. But honestly, it needs a lot of clearing up. So let's go. We've got our pick-up lunges. You're coming down. You're dropping that back foot to the ground. Let's take another step forwards. Dropping it down, keeping that back nice and flat. Have a little walk around your room. If you want to, you can just do alternating, coming forwards and back. Remember to keep that back nice and straight. I mean, do have a go. Feel what it's like to bend it all the way over and stand up. You can feel the difference, right? Good. Some little walks around, pick stuff up. You'll walk yourself over to the kitchen. Good. Grab yourselves some water. Got 3, 2, and 1. Don't lose your balance. So last exercise that we have our deadlifts. So coming down and up again. If you want to grab a heavier weight, then please do. Bags that are filled up with books are always fantastic. Little children as well. So slight bend through the knees, drop the hands down towards the ground, straight back, and we're going to squeeze the bum as we stand up. Good. Make sure we're breathing out as you come all the way up. Try and keep some engagement through the stomach as you come down, and also keep the gaze down towards the ground. Good. The last 10 seconds. And we're going to take it into a nice little cool down. And 3, 2, let's get one more in. And 1. Good stuff. Chuck your weights to one side. Let's circle your shoulders forwards. Let's circle these shoulders backwards. Good. Take the arm across our chest. We're going to use the other hand just to stretch through this arm. So really feel like you're pulling it out towards the side. It's not a backwards pulling. Imagine you're pulling it to the side. Good. Feel that stretch. Keep moving, keep moving. Good. Okay. And let's take it over to the other side. So one thing I'm going to talk to you about is when you're getting back into exercise, remember that it doesn't have to be exercise that makes you ache that is doing the most benefits for you. Take both arms up with the head, drop one hand just below the neck, move the other hand, stretch up through the tricep and also through that shoulder joint. So yes, there's a real common way of thinking that if you're not aching all over afterwards, that you have not done a good workout. And let's take it over to the other side. I can promise you that is not the case, especially as a new mum or someone who's just had a baby. It's really important just to start building those foundations, re-strengthening from inside out. Some of you might not be able to feel the muscles that you are working yet. So we've got to reconnect those first before we can start building everything up. Get down over to one side. Good. And don't forget that being a parent is super physical anyway. Get all the way up and all the way down. Like you are on the job, physical for 24 hours of the day, often doing this on no sleep. So these classes are all about reducing your risk of injury and helping you feel stronger in your own body, more confident and more capable. Take the hands onto the shoulders and we'll do big circles outwards. Those elbows to touch as well. Good. Really nice. Gosh, I'm sweaty. How are you guys doing? Good. Nice. Big circles. Good stuff. One more. Nice. Let's take it down to the ground now. So we're going to come down into that lunge position, taking our feet roughly at 90 degrees. Remember that tucking in the pelvis. We're going to tuck that pelvis in first. Have some engagement through the stomach, keeping a nice straight back. We're going to lean forward, so keep that engagement as well through the pelvis. You should be able to feel a little stretch through these hip flexors here. Good. You can take it forwards even more than do. Try not to overstretch. So especially if you've been sitting down, there's a really, really nice muscle to stretch out. Good. Take it all the way back in. With control, let's switch everything over. Let's tuck that bottom under. Good. And take it forwards. So funny, I can feel it so much more on this side. Which is totally normal. We've got all these imbalances in our body. But be mindful of that. And for where you feel like you have a weaker side or a tighter side, work more on it. Good. Come back into a sitting position, nice and carefully. We're going to straighten out those feet, tuck the toes up towards us. Starting, we're going to sit up nice and tall and keeping this nice straight back. We're going to hinge forwards at the hips. So pull those toes back as well. You should feel a really good stretch all the way to the back of the legs. Good. Get your hands onto the shins as well. You can use them just to help draw you forwards. Keep stretching forwards, keep pulling those toes back. Make sure you're breathing as well. Don't stop breathing. Good. And relax. Let's take the hands all the way up above our head. And now we're going to fold over you. So you still want to lengthen forwards. It doesn't matter so much now. We have a rounded back. So take the hands to the shins or to the ankles or behind the feet. And you're going to draw your chest in towards the knees. Now remember, we're not stretching to our maximum capability. We're just taking this nice and easily. So every single time you breathe out, just feel yourself relax the muscles even more. Good stuff. Take yourself all the way back. Place the hands behind you. I'm going to take those feet out so that they're twice the width of our hips. And let's drop one, do this to the side, save you all. We're going to drop one knee down towards the ground. As soon as it can't go any further, then that other knee drops down with it. Doesn't matter if that bum comes off the ground. Good. Then open up through the other leg. As soon as you can't take it open anymore, then the other knee comes down. So I've actually got shorts on underneath this as well. You just never know. Good. Good. Quite frankly, I mean, I don't care. I had 2 kids. That you might not be so thankful. Good stuff. From here, let's butterfly the feet and let's fold forward, stretching through those hips as well. Take a good few deep breaths here. Come back now up into a sitting position. We're going to fold this leg over. We're going to interlace our fingers and our toes. God, feels weird, doesn't it? And let's circle all the way through. So stretching out through those toes and rotating through the ankle, first one way and then the other way. Good. Over to the other side now. Interlace those fingers with the toes and all the way through and all the way back. So if you do get a chance, whilst we are all still on lockdown, or all still at home quite a lot, try not to wear shoes, try not to wear socks, free up your feet that little bit more. It's a really nice thing to do, and your feet will love you for it, because socks and shoes so often compress our toes together, and that can reduce how mobile they are, and it can also lead to sort of other issues as well. To finish, take a deep breath in. Take those arms up above your head. Good. And deep breath out, stretch out through the arms as well. Nice and slowly, really feeling stretched through your shoulders. Take that deep breath in. Breathe in optimism and hope and bright, beautiful colours. And as you take the arms out, breathe out any anxieties and tiredness and stresses that you might have. Take that deep breath in. And take that deep breath out. Get rid of anything that doesn't support you. Last deep breath in. And I want you to give thanks to your body, how amazing it is, how strong it is. It might not feel strong at the moment, but it is strong and it will be getting even stronger. Give thanks as well to your little ones who may or may not be with you, but I'm sure they have been marvellous. If not, don't forget you can watch this in your own time. Yeah, and give thanks to yourself for making the time and having the motivation to come and do this session. So thank you so much for joining me, and I very much look forward to seeing you at another one soon. Any questions, just let me know. See you.